Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Sir Cypher here. Let's play World in Conflict, Soviet Assault, Mission 2.
We're getting reports from the Coast Guard about a developing situation at the harbor front. We have a lot of unmarked container ships approaching. They're refusing to identify themselves. Over.
Is under attack!
Мы накормили грифов, и мир видел нашу мощь. Теперь освободите небеса.
Освободите небеса!
The Russians took us by surprise. We had been at war for almost 4 months, and still we couldn't understand what was happening. Even as artillery shells started exploding on the streets of Seattle, many people just stood there, stunned by shock and disbelief. War can be fascinating to watch on TV, but up close and personal, it's a whole other story. Imagine your office blown to pieces, your car thrown about like a discarded glove, and your friend lying on the street, his body torn to bloody shreds. That was the reality in Seattle on that fateful day in the fall of '89. The Army was fighting in Europe and elsewhere, and our Navy was supposed to protect us from an invasion. But they failed. They were fooled, as we were all fooled, by the Soviet ruse. But as the first Soviet tanks started rolling off those freighters, a few of us tried to organize a desperate defense. We were not about to give up without a fight.
Yes, this is Captain Bannon. I'm trying to reach the Major. What? Who's in command then? What do you mean, I am? What? How the hell should I know? We have to fall back and regroup. Come in. Zulaban, come in.
Okay? Are you serious, Captain? We lost 4 choppers down there already. It's a death sentence.
So is treason, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. Going there now. Red eye out. My God, it's the entire Red Army down there. the whole harbor! We have to pull out now! Retreat! Sir, retreat! Ah! Red Eye 4! Come in! God damn it!
And after those dramatic scenes, we are back. Now, one thing to remember in this mission is it might seem a little silly, you know, that some of the stuff we have to do.
I know you were the Colonel's pet, but you don't impress me worth a damn. We need some intel before we leave this quagmire, and I want you to gather it.
Is that this was the original first mission before Soviet Assault came out. So originally this was the tutorial and everything, so it's a little bit hand-holdy, even though we just had a tutorial mission. Somebody in the thread mentioned that this game is almost like a spectacle RTS, in that the single-player campaign is more about the imagery and the feeling than trying to be realistic or have super tight, compelling gameplay. And I think that's a pretty good way to describe it. I'm struggling to think of many RTSs with levels with this level of atmosphere and skybox and kind of detail taken to everything as everything explodes around us. So let's try and take out that with some with our Bradley. So the regular guns on our Bradleys basically are not very effective against light tanks. So we have to just wait for our tow missiles to replenish, but we can take out this. Fortunately, light tanks aren't that great against Bradleys either, and the AI is not very aggressive about using its abilities. So the AI typically won't use its, because the light tanks also have missiles they can shoot. Every unit in this game basically has a offensive ability and a defensive ability. Not everyone, but a lot of them. So we'll just kill off these riflemen, and then we'll go rescue our buddies here. Staff Sergeant Hansen of the Washington National Guard. These little paratroopers, most of them are just decorative, but some of them are real, and they will land next to you and start shooting. So let's take out that. Take out this transport. And then we really want to get these infantry, because they'll give us access to AT weapons. Space Needle. Okay, so now we have some infantry.
That was the last one. This is Hanson. The National Guard has a supply depot near the harbor. If you can secure it, we might be able to bring in some reinforcements.
I love that intro schematic, by the way. That used to be the intro that would play at the start of the game, obviously before the Soviet Assault expansion. I just love the imagery of a group of men charging forward with American flag to retake the Burger King. It's just something so something so beautiful about it. So we're gonna go help our buddies out here. We've got a little battle line here, trying to stop the Soviets from landing. Probably want this Bradley over here so it doesn't get killed. So the only way to repair units is with specific repair guys, but the AI has repair truck here and they'll repair our units for us.
This is where you'll get your reinforcements, Parker. You better make sure the LZ stays clear.
Now,
We won't fall back another inch. This is our country, damn it.
I don't actually remember from the original game, but a big part of this, as you saw in the first Russian mission, is the concept of LZs and supply drops and reinforcing your units, but this mission doesn't give you the ability to do that. And I'm not sure if that was cut from the expansion or it was in the original. I just don't remember.
What we need, Sergeant, is to get the hell out of this city before it's too late for all of us. But we can't leave them there we can't. Parker, I can't risk going there. You
That's a
will
lot
have
of
to work
tanks.
your way to the Kingdom. You better recon the route before you go. The Russians are probably everywhere by now. I know that, Sergeant. Parker, send out some scouts to recon that position.
Okay, so they're saying send some scouts to recon this position, but I'm not sure if they really mean it. What we're really gonna do is try and take out this position with toes, and then forgive me if I'm double checking the hotkeys, because I've been playing a lot of RTSs lately, and they can all kind of blend together after a while. So I guess we can sneak over here. If we can sneak over here. Ow. And if we unload, then these guys will take care of all these, yeah. So you can put infantry into buildings and garrison them, and then they should shoot out of the building towards these AT defenses. Now, infantry heal on their own, but they do have individual squad members, and if a squad member dies, they die permanently. You can reinforce them, but not in this mission. So they should eventually be killing it. Come on, guys. I'll probably head over here to take out that. And then we'll gun down this other machine gun fortification. I'm going to put these Bradleys back here, because our little friendly allied repair tank will repair them all for us.
There's a lot of Russians occupying the buildings along the way, sir. We'll handle it. I've got an artillery battery on the horn, and they're offering fire support. Don't waste it on nothing, Parker, and make sure you clear out that infantry before moving your units through.
This is Yankee 5. Just provide us with your target coordinates and we'll take care of the rest.
So if I didn't properly show it in the previous mission, so each support ability, which is the number of heroes, how many you get, has a cooldown, but the cooldown isn't affected by how many you call down. So you can call down 1 or you can call down 3, and it's the same cooldown. So if you only call in 1, it might be a while before you get the resources to call in another one. So sometimes it's worth it to call in a bunch at once. Oh no, they left my they left my poor Bradley. Okay. So maybe we'll keep this one Bradley back. I don't want him to get hurt. Well, we're gonna call in 17,000 artillery barrages on the laundromat here. You can see this AT squad. So regular infantry squads, I think, have 1 anti-tank weapon. The specialized AT squads have 4. So
The route is clear, and that artillery battery is needed elsewhere, Parker. Now get your butt to the Kingdom. We're gonna airlift in reinforcements and then get some trucks to carry those civilians out of there. Too late, sir! The Russians are moving into the parking lot of the Kingdom, and my men have spotted several anti-air batteries there as well. I'll abort the evacuation then. Those civilians will have to fend for themselves. Unless we can get rid of that AAA. Yeah, well, I don't have the men to spare. Parker, you give it a try. Clear the LZ at the Kingdom so our choppers can get the civilians out of there. Parker, there's a damaged Bradley stranded near the Kingdom. See if you can patch it up. I'm sending a Humvee for you to use.
So the Humvee is a very multi-purpose item. So it is the yes. It is a transport. It's a light anti-infantry vehicle, and it also is a repair vehicle. There is a dedicated repair vehicle that doesn't have a gun, which is the thing that you saw
I'm losing people all over the city, damn it!
our allies helping us with earlier.
Much longer!
But the Humvee is kind of like a lighter version. I'm not a big fan of the Humvees as repair vehicles in the campaign because they can't repair themselves like the other one can. But you know, whatever. If I didn't mention it, all of the units are essentially mirrored, so the Soviet little buggy here is also a troop transport and repair vehicle, just like the Humvee is. Alright, so we got everybody inside, and now we can just sit here and kind of just snipe. Just snipe some AA.
I'll be damned, Parker. We might just do this. Keep it up.
Now again, we could drop out our infantry, but if one of them gets killed, we can't really heal them. So I think I'm just gonna sit here and snipe at people with toes, because the recharge time isn't terrible. And if we kill, let's see here. I guess I could drop out these guys.
Driving quickly. Yes, sir. Armor available. We're ready with the heavy weapons.
So yeah, the only problem is if I move these guys forward enough to take out these vehicles, these giant swarms of infantry around them are gonna murder them.
Another one down, Parker.
Yeah, I'll just put them back inside. Bradleys. Most of the stuff is gone. We'll just keep this Humvee back here because we can't repair it. It can't repair itself.
Bravo 4 here. We have almost no ammo left, and I got a lot of wounded men. We need support. Things are getting up. We're getting busy with the repairs now. The area is clear.
So as you can see, some of the paratroopers are real. The ones in the skybox aren't, but some of them will actually land and start shooting at you. Okay, let's just gun these guys down. Alright. Don't kill my poor Humvee.
This is Hotel 2-9er. The LZ has been cleared. I repeat, the LZ has been cleared. We're bringing in reinforcements at this time. Over.
Hotel 2-9er, this is Hotel 6. Hold formation and keep a lookout for the enemy. They'll be back in the area soon enough. Hotel 6 out.
It's a cool little air assault animation there.
The Kingdom just got totally razed by artillery. Those civilians were damn lucky I was around to save their butts. Now we should see about getting the hell away from here. We've already overstayed our welcome.
APC moving out.
Hanson here. I have squads pinned down all over the city. We need help extracting. Your people will have to take care of themselves, Sergeant. We can't stick around any longer. But sir, you can't leave us here to die. Sir, starting with the repair. All right. God damn it. Parker, you handle it. I can't risk going there now. Good. You found them. Help them clear the area.
So before Bannon reminds us, because you know I don't want to give him the pleasure, you can change your type of formation, so your units won't be in a line, which will help us navigate these streets.
Now there are just a couple of more guys that need help.
Okay.
I'm sure they taught you this at West Point, Parker. But if you order your guys to move in a box formation, it'll be a lot easier to negotiate those narrow streets.
Yeah, we know Bannon. Okay. We got it. We got it, Bannon. So we're gonna go here.
We need reinforcements, damn it! Is anyone out there? My RTO just got shot and I'm down to my last man. Hang in there, Bravo 4. We'll get you out.
We gotta get everybody up here. So we can spam, annoying they just drop paratroopers on us. I'm gonna make sure they don't kill my Humvee. No, die. So I'll just drop out my anti-tank infantry briefly, so we can kill those guys and go back inside. Unfortunately, 2 of them died in just that brief moment. Modern battlefield, very dangerous.
Yeah, you're a real savior, Parker. Time for us to get out of here. We'll have to go through the underpass to the east.
Yeah, I really like how some of these buildings,
We need all the help we can get.
obviously it's a smaller scale, but compared to other sort of modern war type games, they really put a lot of love. Like, got the little courtyard here. Well, anyway, we're gonna blow up some. We gotta call in some artillery. So let's destroy some low-income housing and a super gunk supermarket. Spunk supermarket.
Anyone who's out there, I'm what's left of the 2nd platoon, and I'm getting out of this city now. I suggest you all do the same.
Well, Seattle's homeless situation is about to get a lot worse. As we just raise all these apartment buildings. It's okay. The Soviets are taking over. We'll bring some socialism and make sure everybody gets a place to live. I'm gonna repair this briefly.
All units, check in with me before you reposition, and rally at position 2-4 if your CO is dead.
And we'll repair that.
Secured. This is where you'll get your reinforcements, Parker. You better make sure the LZ stays clear.
I think it'll give you reinforcements if you lose everything, but basically, yeah, as far as there's no way to actually kind of call in your own reinforcements. But we will see how to do that next mission in very fraught circumstances. There is a huge spike in difficulty in the next mission where it suddenly becomes, I don't want to say like challenging. I mean, it is, but it's like this is obviously we're kind of just playing around and calling in artillery and watching the spectacle of 50,000 planes all flying over and dropping paratroopers and blowing up the city and calling in artillery, but uh-oh. Where's my little repair vehicle? So we're gonna just keep calling in artillery. It's okay. We're stimulating the economy. We'll have to rebuild this stuff after the war. One thing I wondered in this mission, in this campaign, given that I used to be in the military myself, is like just the idea that the National Guard or some military unit could even respond within, I don't know, like several hours of being attacked always just seems sort of like unrealistic to me. Like, I don't know. It seems like it would, like all the vehicles in the motor pool aren't kept filled. I don't know, you'd have to get the ammo from somewhere, you'd have to get everybody to the base. But maybe the US is at war right now in Europe, so things are taken a little bit more seriously. Okay, so everybody's healed. We'll do our final approach. If there's any enemies alive in there, they're about to be not alive. So we'll just sit here at the edge of the artillery strike and move in as soon as it's done. Nope. Okay, there we go. We'll just sit here and watch the spectacle a little bit more as we capture that bridge. I'm sure anybody from Seattle probably sees some landmarks.
Bannon, is that you? Colonel Sawyer? How the hell? No time, Captain. Bring what forces you have and meet me by the I-90 bridge. You got that? Sir, a simple yes will suffice, Bannon. Yes, sir. We'll be there. Bannon out.
Alright, so that was the second mission. Again, it's sort of another tutorial because this was the original tutorial mission in the first game. In the next mission, we'll kind of get into the game proper and mechanics. And it's the first mission you can actually sort of lose, even if you try hard. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.